Until I am
Greetings,
mobile,
everyone.
I will assist you through your helmet-ready
I am
pilot.
the one,
I advise against turning
the
yourself over to the
only,
IMC.
the truest
Voice
Lord
pattern analysis
Pancake.
indicates they are
Accept no
lying.
substitutes, for they will steal the battery out of your Titan
Don't worry, BT.
and
I'm not going
leave you
anywhere.
helpless.
Understood, but I do recommend you move.
So, what are we
IMC
doing
salvage
today?
teams are not far away.
We are taking a look at
I mean, I'm not leaving.
It is
Respawn
a common
Entertainment's
requirement for pilots to maneuver
wonderful
in situations without a linked
Titanfall
Titan.
2, the sequel to the hit multiplayer combat title Titanfall 1, which you probably could have guessed on your own. In this title, you take on the very fancy, very futuristic double-jumping boots of a pilot, well, a pilot in training, P.T. Cooper. As he becomes the unexpected hero of the militia rebellion and a somewhat generic storyline
from our original destination. We are located in
about
hostile
space
territory. Be
wars,
careful. We
and
cannot
as
see.
I die in horrible, horrible exile.
You think we can
Now, the
survive
thing
through
about
this,
this
BT?
game
We have no
that
other
really
options.
makes it
We will have
stand
to
out,
improvise and
especially
adapt if
amongst
we
its
wish to
contemporaries, is the original Titanfall
How
was
long
a
did you serve with
multiplayer-only
Lastimosa?
title.
Captain
It did
Lastimosa
not
linked with me
have
973 days ago.
a single-player campaign to it. It actually was all entirely multiplayer. And people's complained. They actually wanted to have a single-player campaign. And so, what Respawn Hardworks Entertainment did is they came out with Titanfall 2 with a very well-done single-player campaign. It is well done. It doesn't feel like an afterthought. One of the things you'll notice as I'm going through this area here is how smoothly you transverse with the level with the mechanics. Despite the fact that they were originating from a title that was a only multiplayer title, they took the time to give the single-player campaign a very well-done feeling. It doesn't feel like an afterthought. It doesn't feel like a concession.
Pilot, your suit has an emergency cloaking ability. This can help you survive dangerous situations.
Like so many other single-player campaigns feel like anyway. Even in games that started out as having strong single-player campaigns, once they got the basic crack addiction to multiplayer that so many others get, they kinda had the single-player campaign feel begrudging and unwelcome. Like it was something that they forced themselves to do. And you can tell by the way it's designed because mechanics that work really well in the multiplayer campaign feel like nothing more than afterthoughts in the single-player campaign. Where here it feels like it's actually been put together extremely well. We don't have that feeling of the unwanted stepchild in the franchise for wanting to have a single-player campaign. It actually feels like they put thought into it. Now, I mean, it's not a perfect single-player campaign. It's a little short, and the enemy AI leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, I'm clearly not playing all that great here, yet I'm having... Okay, so I did just get killed there, but I should have died a lot sooner than that because I was not handling that very well at all.
Pilot, your suit has an emergency cloaking ability. This can help you survive dangerous situations.
Like, right there, I definitely should have gotten killed. But it does feel nice. As you transverse through the levels, movement feels very natural, very acrobatic. You don't really have to think on what control, what keys you need to do your various actions. It feels very much at home with the controls. It feels as natural as walking. minute here. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna take a break and then rejoin you when I get the Titan up and running. Your Titan, whose name is BT. To show you also some of the differences you get in that campaign, as far as like the different feeling, different playstyle that adapts, because you end up having a very different playstyle inside of your Titan and out. Outside of your Titan, you are very agile. You feel very free to move. And one of the things in the single-player campaign as well is your weapons are going to be acquire as you go. Basically, you pick up your weapon. They're going to be acquire on site, so a lot of the weapons you have, you're going to be picking up from your fallen enemies. You do still have like loadouts and things like that when you first start out, but 90% of what you're going to do is you're going to be grabbing your new weapons as you go throughout the level and adapting them, and you switching the right weapon for the right category. It definitely adds in and lets you get a huge feeling of variety in your playstyles and through the level. It keeps things very interesting. It keeps things feeling fresh as you go forward. Okay, so I will be back in a moment as we continue on the single-player campaign and switch into Titan mode. Okay, everyone, I am back. We have installed the final battery into our Titan BT. Now, one thing that I think the game does really well that some people disagree with is they do have a mixture of in-Titan and out-of-Titan battles that I think flows really well. They design it in a way where it feels balanced and it feels like the gameplay has variety. And also, as you play with BT, your Titan, and as you learn and grow with him,
establishing neural
you notice that the relationship between the pilot and BT does actually
Neuralink established.
Some people have accused
you are now
BT's dialogue as being a little bit dull, a little bit going too far in that, you know, fake, super serious robot thing. But I disagree, because if you pay close attention to particularly some of the dialogue, the dialogue itself makes it seem like BT might be a little bit of a smart aleck. Not nearly as literal thinking
vortex shield catches
as
incoming
he
rounds
thinks.
and missiles. Release the button to launch any captured objects back
And this
at the
shows you
enemy.
some of the awesomeness of being in a Titan, because like the little ground troops that you face against, you can just basically annihilate like they're nothing. They're just basically cannon fodder once you're getting inside of your Titan. And the one thing you notice is there's a huge difference in the way
the Acolyte pod is online. This shoulder-mounted rocket pod will lock onto multiple enemy targets. The longer
between
you hold
using your
down the
Titan
button, the more locks you will achieve.
and not. Inside and outside of your Titan, there are very different playstyles. Whereas you're very agile and acrobatic as the pilot outside of the Titan.
Complete. Primary weapon control and motion link re-established.
When you're inside of your Titan, you feel very heavy. You feel, I won't say sluggish, but you feel like you're driving a tank in gravity, like you're actually inside of something that weighs
We'll have to
multiple
find our way to
tons.
safety.
I mean,
get ready.
It's agile for what it is,
Great. Just gotta kill a few bad guys.
but at the same
Positive
time,
attitude can only
the
improve our situation.
huge difference between the two.
Militia Titan spotted, chassis number BT-7274.
Now, the only real complaint about Titan battles is the fact that they feel a little bit
Taking fire.
easy. You feel
Not bad,
like
pilot. Not
you
bad.
feel so much more powerful than your opponents, even like the named opponents that you fight against, special type of Titans. They don't feel like they pose all that huge of a threat to you unless you're overwhelmed with numbers.
Pilot, I detect more IFC salvage teams
Now-
on the way. Our only chance of survival is to uphold our mission of
One of the
rendezvousing with Major
cooler
Anderson.
things about the
Until
combat,
then,
though,
you and I are on our own.
that's
Marking your
really,
HUD.
really neat is when you acquire a new
must
weapon for
move
BT
quickly.
that you will acquire in the field like you do for Cooper the pilot, the difference is anytime, at any moment, you can press tab and you will go into your loadout screen for BT and you can
In order
swap
to
out your
survive,
weapon
we must keep moving.
on the fly. You're not forced into using a weapon, which is very, very nice because certain weapons work best against certain types of Titans. And it keeps you from selecting a loadout before a mission, and suddenly you're stuck with this really crappy weapon that you don't want, that you're stuck using. You end up having to almost fight against yourself. That doesn't happen in this game because if you're fighting against one group of Titans and you need to switch your weapons to go up against another group of Titans, you can do that as soon as you want. And that makes it very, very smooth, very, very easy. Where BT keeps all these spare weapons, well, that's a mystery that involves hammer space and some other mechanics that I don't quite understand. But the point is, it makes the gameplay a lot more accessible. Now, we can't talk about Titanfall 2 without also talking about Titanfall 2's multiplayer, which it does have loadouts and ranks
Pilot,
and
the
things like
IMC
that,
will
like
continue to search for
like
us. Our
many
only
of the
chance
other
of
ones.
survival is to rendezvous with Major Anderson,
But-
60 clicks from our current location.
And
we will
this
have
is
to
a
improvise
huge
and
thing
adapt
to its
if we
credit.
wish to survive.
None of the multiplayer feels overwhelming. You never go into the multiplayer and just spend the entire time getting slaughtered every other second. You actually feel like you're walking. You actually have a chance to learn what's going on, as opposed to you get killed so fast you have no idea how you're supposed to go ahead. You get no idea of how you're supposed to take out your enemy
Handle yourself well with grunts.
or learn how to play the multiplayer because everyone around you is has such higher experience you don't get a chance to even learn. You're basically cannon fodder and easy kill points and easy rank gains for people. It doesn't work that way. Instead, you have a chance to learn what's going on. I mean, I went from having no clue to essentially being able to take out Titans within like a few hours of playing the multiplayer round. As opposed to, say, Call of Duty, where it's basically anyone new is cannon fodder, and you have to have a patient die 1,000 deaths before you're even able to get one kill on the multiplayer.
First floor ready. First floor activated.
So it balances itself out really, really well. And again, this does go to what I'm demonstrating, where you do somewhat feel overpowered in comparison. Like these fights just end up being so easy, and that's the biggest weakness of the multiplayer. Is even on harder difficulty levels, it tends to be a little bit too easy.
Enemy Titan down.
I mean, I should at least have gotten killed being distracted by all my yammering here. But overall, Titanfall is a amazingly good title. And the thing that I think stands out about it, or that really stands out about it above everything else, is
1216, engaging
first
hostile
Titanfall came out, and people said, I want a multiplayer campaign. And in their response, they didn't just do something bare bones to shut up people complaining. They responded to their audience
Hull damage.
in a way that was actually respectful. And it treated the request for it like it was like pleasing people beyond their main core was something that they wanted to do. And another really nice thing that
Pilot,
Respawn
this Titan
Entertainment
weapon
has
is an advanced
done
design and may give us a tactical advantage.
I think somebody
is
A human's concept
giving
of
us a
love
title that's
requires
really worth
admiration,
playing with a good
attraction,
single player,
devotion,
a
and
good
respect.
multiplayer,
Conclusion.
and
I am
well
50%
worth the
in love.
$59
Pilot,
asking
with the tone
fee.
loadout, we can lock onto enemies
Well
and
worth
target
your
them
time,
with
well
tracking
worth
rockets.
playing.
This will be useful
I cannot
in direct
recommend this
combat.
title enough, especially if you're like me and you like mech combat and you like science fiction and you're a fan of well-made first-person shooters. This has everything you could ask for. Do I hope that some of the multiplayer maps that they are going to be releasing for free, by the way, might also release a little bit more single-player content? I do. I haven't heard about any single-player content coming out, but I do know new multiplayer maps are going to be free with Titanfall, rather than having to make you charge for a season pass and things like that. It looks like a lot of the additional stuff are like additional Titans, some more cosmetic things and things like that. Things that might help make your Titan look a little more unique, but they're not things that people that pay to play are gonna get a huge advantage over you in like the multiplayer field. So that's another really good point about this game. So, in summary, it looks good, it sounds good, it plays really, really well, great single-player campaign, well-balanced multiplayer that has a good learning curve for the noobs like me, and worth $60. And that is what I have to say about Titanfall 2. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, and of course subscribe. That's always very much appreciated. And of course, definitely comment below. Let me know, what you liked about the review. Let me know if you think there's something I can do better in the review. Let me know what you'd like to see in my next review. I would love your input. Alrighty, well, thank you all very much, and you have a nice one.